So I had this like kind of wild week. I Not a wild week. There was like one incident that I really want to talk about. So I had this like triggering moment, and from I swear I should just go back to school and get my psychology degree because I feel like I am earning my YouTube degree. Um, but I'm super grateful for therapy. Holy cow. And good friends and all that. But so this moment happened and it triggered me. And um, I like immediately froze. The actual incident was kind of innocuous and almost, well, it was comical. But the physical response that my body had was it was amazing in a not a I want to do this again kind of way, but like amazing that like how our brains and nervous systems and bodies just function. So I have um I've learned over the last year that trauma shows back up as like a response. Like you can be triggered, your nervous system can be triggered by like words, by a situation, just even by like a vibe that you get in a place, and like your body will have this physical reaction even though you may not necessarily at that exact moment understand what was the issue. um or it might seem like something, so like this thing was really a silly thing, laughable now, but it sent my body into freeze. And I I don't know if we like kind of gravitate toward one of the four, fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. I kind of feel like as I'm going back through all of these different kinds of things that have happened, triggering moments and situations where I have felt um, unsafe, or where my body has stepped in to protect me from something. I think I tend to kind of wave in and out of those. I don't particularly have one, probably fight less often. In the moment, it depends. It depends on the triggering situation, actually, because I think like if it's something where I feel like mom I have to step in to protect my children, oh, it's fight all day long. Like you can't, you would have a hard time stopping me. Um, but where it's me, it's usually um it's usually freeze. I think I freeze more often than anything else, and then kind of like either wait for the danger to pass, or freeze and figure out how I'm gonna get out of it, and sometimes that's also by like freezing and then fawning, which is people pleasing, basically like appeasing the situation or the abuser to uh the danger threat, appeasing that person in order to get out of the situation alive and safe. So I guess I tend to freeze first, usually, probably. Flight, maybe. I think freeze, and then it's either flight or fawn. But anyway, and then fight when it comes to my kids. So I froze. Like I very clearly recognized that I was freezing and I couldn't stop it. It was like this out of body experience. Like I could see myself, like curled up on my bed. I was crying, and I really was having this very physical, huge reaction to a very seemingly insignificant moment. And I I was like, I just couldn't stop. I was totally frozen and in fear, and I could recognize that I was, and I recognized not exactly right then exactly what had triggered it, but anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. So I recognized that I was having a reaction, so this thing had triggered me, and I recognized that I was in a major panicked state. What I was what I was in was not good. It was my body telling me something, wanting me to kind of figure something out. So I did what my therapist has been pushing me to do, which is reach out and connect to somebody when I am drowning like that or in one of those moments. And so I did. I reached out to a friend, and she was like, I can't talk right now, but I can talk in like 2 hours or something. And I was like, okay. So I had a few distractions in the 2 hours before, or 2 or 3 hours before I ended up speaking to her. But I lay there for a little bit. Um, probably, really, probably about an hour, hour and a half, maybe, of being really in this this freeze crying state. And as I was in that, I was trying to work through what was making me feel that way. What about this little thing had what about that is from something else that has happened, because that's what that is, right? It's a trigger. It reminds my nervous system of something else that I've gone through, a moment where I was not safe. What is the thing in this moment that is making me feel that way? And anyway, I figured it out because I'm a genius, and also because I'm super honest with myself. And so I was able to like kind of pinpoint what it was that was upsetting me really, and causing that huge reaction. And I was able to do that before I got on the phone with the friend. So I went into that conversation already having kind of worked out my issue. But I told her anyway what had happened, what my reaction had been to it. And I then, she and I talked about that moment, and talked about what I did and how I was feeling, and more about like the actual trigger piece. And then, and I worked through verbally some of my thought process through that moment. And I told her that, she knew, because she knows stuff is going on, that my therapist wants me to reach out when I'm struggling in the moment. I am very good about talking to somebody after the moment has gone. Like I told you in some other previous thing, like I will talk everything about what happened last week, but talking about something like that is actually currently going on is a struggle. And so she said to me, my friend asked me, why is it that you struggle to reach out in the moment? Are you particularly private about stuff? Is it that, or is it something else? And I said, huh. So I sat there for a second, and I said, I don't think it's me being private. And so that's kind of where I wanted to go today. I have been carrying around this thought line of, I'm just a very private person. I don't like to talk to people, and I don't want people to know what's going on with me. And I can't tell you where that originally originated. It probably originated with, I don't know where that sentence came from. But it's been a long time, like 15, 16, 17 years. And um and I've just kind of always gone with it, like I don't want people to know, because I don't talk about stuff in the current. I talk about things in the past. And after I've already had time to process stuff and I have like a real explanation, or I don't talk about stuff at all, which is really like the bigger thing there. As you know, like the first 5 chapters or whatever of this story have been locked away in my Pandora box. So, and there's other stuff that I haven't talked about. So I mean, I just kept thinking like, okay, maybe that is true. But as I've been going through this insane journey the last year, and through therapy and talking about things, and really taking a very hard look at me and who I am, um, I I know that that's not true. I'm actually not private. I will word vomit and emotionally vomit all over somebody that I trust. Um, and I think, like, I know I don't name people usually on here, but I'm going to name her anyway, and I hope that she's not upset about this. But like, Ashley could tell you this like, she could validate this because I trust her. I trusted her like almost immediately, and I told her everything. She knew those chapters before I published them several months ago. So she knew that stuff for like a year. And I haven't known Ashley that long. I just really trust her. And I love her so much. So I don't actually think that I'm not going to say I don't think. I know that I am not a private, I don't want you to know what's going on kind of person. The the thing is that I have trust issues. Like 100%. And I did tell my friend that on the phone the other day. I was like, I just don't trust people. My feelings have been invalidated over and over and over by people who are supposed to love me, people who tell me they love me, people who are in roles in my life where that is supposed to be a given. That trust is supposed to be there. I should be able to trust you, and you have proven to me that I cannot. And that once I see that I can't trust you, like something I've told you in confidence ends up somewhere else, yeah, I'm done. You get nothing from me. Stuff starts to like vault up. It's like this, you know, brick wall. So then maybe to you, I do look private because I don't tell you stuff, but it's because I don't trust you. Um, so, I really do think I have no issue. Like, I'm no problem posting all this stuff. And now that I've gotten it all out there and I feel, good, like, I will emotionally vomit all over you. So I think that was like a weird revelation for me this week, was like, wow, I'm actually not very private. I really will talk about anything. There's very little off limits for me if it's a safe place and I feel like you are somebody I can trust. And these videos, like, I'm talking to myself, I'm looking at myself on the screen. I trust me. So I have no problems talking about this. So I think that was a very an interesting question that she asked me. And it was one that I did tell her it's not that I don't, it's not that I'm private. I've been publishing my life and my family's life for over a decade. So it is not at all that I am private. It is that I am selective about who gets pieces of me, because there are situations where I have known that my trust has been violated and my confidence has been violated. And when my feelings are invalidated and treated like they don't matter over repeatedly after so much time, you just stop sharing your feelings. And then you just need to know, like, I think there was I don't know where I posted this. I think I posted it on Facebook, but it said like, accept people for who they are, but place them where they belong. And like, and that is perfect. I understand, I'm not special enough to you for you to keep my secret. That's fine. I'm not going to be mad at you. I mean, I might be mad at you, but I'm just going to know that I don't trust you. Um, the problem is when it's somebody who should be trusted, and then that becomes a major issue and a big crack in a foundation. And then that pours over into or has poured over into my friendships and my platonic relationships, because when you're in a romantic relationship with somebody, there is an unwritten, an unspoken understanding that that's supposed to be your person. And so when relationships, when the partner doesn't reciprocate that, and doesn't reciprocate it often enough, and breaches that violates that trust, then you shut down, but also it made me question a lot of my friendships. So, and that, even from the very beginning, for my first romantic relationship was an abusive one, and it set up this weird rewiring of my brain to think that I am unworthy. I am, my feelings and my opinions don't matter. I take up too much space and too much time, and I'm too much of a pain in the butt. And I'm just too much. I am too much work for somebody else. And that's how that made me feel. That's what that taught me. And then, it's been repeated and reinforced by future relationships. So then I think that spills over into platonic friendships, because if my romantic ones, where we're like supposed to be connected and together, if I'm too much for that person to handle, why is a friend going to stick around? Why is this friend who I've known for, X amount of years going to want to be my friend? Why are they going to want to listen to my um my thoughts and feelings? Because the person who's supposed to want to listen to that doesn't. So why is this other person going to opt into that relationship? And so I think that over the last 26 years, that was reinforced often enough to make me feel like I wasn't good enough to be really anyone's friend. Um, that hurts to say out loud, actually. But here we are being truthful. And even though it really hurts, that really hurt. Um, so I think that really is the reason that I don't reach out very often, is because I feel like, you know, like, who cares? So, oh man, so I think that mental, that messed up mindset is what has prevented me from feeling like I can reach out. Because there are definitely times that I have wanted to, a lot. But then I feel like, oh gosh, I'm going to be such a burden on this. Or like, I only call to complain. So that um, mental block is what like physically prevents me from reaching out. Um, and I didn't say all of that to my friend when she asked me that the other day. I just said, like, Cliff's Notes version of that. This is what I've been thinking about since she asked me, and it's been like, burning burning me up. Because I think over the last several months, really since I started shooting these videos and talking about my story and starting to kind of write that book down, publish everything that I've published and even the stuff that I haven't. I One of the things that I have been thinking of along the way as I'm telling all of these, or like recapping all of these situations, is the friends that were there, that as I'm retelling the story, I'm realizing like that person really did care about me. I just didn't care about me. I thought I thought there's no way they can. There's no way. Why? It's just me. And um and then, like getting text messages and phone calls and Facebook messages from friends, newer friends and friends that people I've known for a very long time. Like all of that stuff it's made me think about this exact thing. Like, it's made me see that I actually am, oh, I don't even think I can say it. It's made me see that it is possible for people to care about me, and I am worth the time and the effort, and um I'm a good friend. Okay, I think that's enough for today. I have gotten way more emotional than I was expecting to. uh so anyway, love you.